On to Heat 3, you saw the slippery surface flag, it's still drizzling here at Glan Y Gors. And our first glimpse of championship leader Steve Brown in pole position there in kart number 3. On the front row with him, another championship protagonist, Darren Teal. In kart 6, on board with Tyler Mays on grid 3. David Longman, kart 25, is on the second row with him. Coming into the final corner, setting up for the start, the pace kart pulls off, pace transfers to Steve Brown in pole position, and he gets the whole shot into turn 1, and Tyler Mays is already looking for a way past Darren Teal. He's got inside, down the Dragon Straight, and the position will be his. Through the kink, uphill, over the crest, and then on the brakes while turning into Spoon Corner. Very difficult, challenging conditions, and Alex Ring in the white there has been pushed out the back. Stuart Osborne and Jack Harding pushed off on the exit. Oh, and Tyler Mays pushes through on Steve Brown, waves him back through for fear of a penalty. Now, was he pushed by Darren Teal? Could be a penalty for Darren here. David Longman in the blue, down the inside of Mays to go third. Into compression. And you can see, if you look in the corner of the picture, it's still drizzling and it's getting worse. But it still looks like a fairly grippy track at the moment. Swinging through, we're already on the lap 2, and Tyler Mays wants that position back from David Longman. Down behind the Nassau panel, does it work? No one's ever quite sure. Ed Barr's in the green, looking to the inside, can't get it done into Spoon. Crossed up, Stuart Martin holding off. Parveen Ajar in the blue there. Kart 25, David Longman wiping the raindrops from his visor. But they're still driving it like a dry track at the moment. The right-hander, Najar pushes past Stuart Martin, who's hung out to dry on the outside by champion Anwar Burrell-Smith in car number 1. Jonathan Listener trying to find a way through and hold off Daniel Truman at the same time. In kart 12, on to lap 3. The laps tick by quickly. And Listener looking for a way by. And once again, Tyler Mays on the bumper of David Longman, who goes defensive to hold him off. And he'll go narrow into Spoon. Ray Norris in the blue behind, looking for a way by. Might open himself up to an attack from Ed Bars, who's been backed up into Parveen Ajar in kart 7. He backs it in into Carousel and goes through. And Anwar looking to pick up points here quickly, because he had to pull out of that first heat with a mechanical. Oh, Ed Bars pushes Stuart Martin off the road there, down on the grass, and he's gone into the grass. Long way. And he'll be waiting for the pusher car. He can write off this score. And he was excluded from the first heat, so he'll be on the back of the grid for the final for sure. Daniel Truman forces a pass on Jaley, and look at the ground that he loses and the positions. So Darren Teal is leading out Heat 3 from Steve Brown, David Longman, Tyler Mays under pressure from Ray Norris, Anwar Burrell-Smith and Parveen Ajar. Down the hill they go, steeper than it looks even on the camera. Kart circuit's just a great to drive and good to film when there's elevation change. And there's certainly elevation change here at Glan Y Gors. Doesn't seem to bother the sheep much. So the fight for second place, Steve Brown holding off David Longman, Tyler Mays, Ray Norris in kart 10, Anwar Burrell-Smith in kart number 1, and Parveen Ajar in kart 7. And they're all jockeying for position to get on the bumper of Steve Brown as they try to run down Darren Teal. And it looks as though Ray Norris is going to be held and pushed out wide, and Parveen Ajar goes through. Now everybody wants to work together once the positions have changed in their favour. Mays nearly dropped a wheel off there on the exit of Carousel. Puts Anwar on his bumper, looking for a way by into compression. Druids 1, Druids 2, dropping into the Devil's Elbow, and then Paddock Bend. Use the run-off as best you can. And already you're on to lap number 6 of 10. And Mays is under pressure here from Anwar. Mays struggling to stay in touch with David Longman and now having to cover up into Spoon. I'm not sure how long he'll be for that position. Paul Smith's got to be careful, and a jar on his bumper as well. Sweeping back uphill, and then down they plunge into compression, into Druids. The field coming through behind. And we're back up front here, on board with Steve Brown, championship leader on the bumper of Darren Teal, who's currently fourth in the championship coming into this round. He won at Spa a couple of weeks ago in the 10-hour endurance race, the premier Club 100 endurance event of the season, and it looks as though Mays has been pushed out wide, or claiming that he has been, by Burrell Smith. Look down the inside there, covering up to hold off Brown, and that's put Longman back into this group to make it a threesome. And it looks as though Teal is going to fight defensively to the finish. It's a long way out though, we're still on lap 7. So we've got over 3 laps to go, and look, the field is beginning to close in behind Darren Teal. So on to lap 8, and Brown wants to be by. He's conscious of Longman behind him. But look how Teal is going to hug the inside up to Spoon Corner. Now can he cross behind him and dive up the inside over that curb there? No, he can't. Teal very narrow into Spoon. It's just half a kart width, but it's more like a kart width there. And that's not the fastest line through the corner, and it is beginning to concertina up, and that's working in the favour of Pete O'Connor, who jumps through on Jonathan Lister and Ray Norris. O'Connor won the last heat, and he's picking up places now from the back of the field in this one. Teal still on the defensive, but it's difficult to pass here. Oh, and look at that Brown. Is he going to launch one up the inside? Not this time, but Teal better be aware of that one. On to lap 9, 2 to go, and they're all jockeying for position. Any mistake now, any door just slightly ajar is going to be piled through. So Teal, how narrow is he going this time? Well, he's down the middle of the road. That makes the lunge up the inside of Carousel rather risky. Clipping his apexes though makes it difficult to pass. Brown's looking for a mistake, but once again Teal half a kart width narrow, and look what it does. It puts Brown right on his bumper, and he's going apex to apex from compression into Druids. Now Brown closes in once again. It must be tempting to lunge one up the inside. Well, he's only going to have one more opportunity, and that's going to be the last lap if he's going to try that one. The best place to do it would be to draft past on the Dragon Straight, but you can't really go around the outside here. So it's over the curb into Spoon would be the chosen place to pass, but it's not there. Burrell Smith tries to do it on Longman, but can't get it done. Carousel will be the next point of attack, and this time Teal's got a couple of kart lengths. So it looks as though Darren Teal's going to hang on here. It's advantage Darren with one more trip down the hillside to the finish. Into compression. Oh, but he's going narrow again. And look how close to the apex going in to Druids one it is. Well, he's still got half a car width, but now Brown's on his bumper, and Teal goes narrow in to hold him off and out of the paddock, and it's a foot race to the line. Oh, and Steve Brown's nicked it. All the right moves right up to the last corner. Went in narrow once again. Didn't have the momentum coming off. Steve Brown wins from Darren Teal, David Longman, Anwar Burrell Smith, Parveen Ajah rounds out the top 5.